Welcome to the Pink Lady Against Scammers podcast. Well, hello, everyone. Happy New Year. This is my first podcast for 2024, and I'm so excited about our guest, my guest. Her name is Melissa Finley, and she's a uh, dating life coach. I said that wrong, but I'm just going to turn it over to her. She has so many cool stuff she's going to talk about us with us today. So, Melissa, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. I'm excited to share some of my story and success. So that's actually kind of what I wanted to open up with. Even the reason why I got into love and dating coaching is because one, I found my human. I found my human, and guess what? On Tinder. Um,
I absolutely love it.
I love it too. I had to got out of a really bad relationship. I had a gentleman who used me, all the things. We got a good hearts on us, a lot of us, and I just had to do some digging deep. And I was more careful heading out there into the dating world, not guarded per se, but definitely learned my boundaries. And I think that's super important with being careful in the dating world. And to be honest, I normally don't use Tinder to date. I preferred Hinge and Bumble. But I did get on Tinder just to be like, all right, I kind of just want to look, to be honest. And then my now husband super liked me. And I remember looking at his stuff and going, okay, this could go two ways, right? I'm going to get that creepy picture or text or hey, or I'm going to get a conversation. We're going to find out. And we had some similar interests. And because I really try to look in that, we all know, I hope at this point in the game, you just can't guess anything off a picture anymore. Oh, especially with good old AI generation these days. There's so many, oh yeah, AI, a special beast in the dating world. But
Have you seen the Terminator movie in 1984?
oh, it's scary. Do you know that there's full Instagram accounts with thousands of followers that are all just AI generated humans?
Hmm.
It's like insanity. There's a yeah. Anyway, I digress. Sorry.
That's okay.
um, but yeah, we ended up having a conversation. I did a phone call with him first and got to chat with him, and then we went on a date, and happily ever after happens.
Cool.
So so that actually helped me transition. I used to be an ICU nurse, and then I moved over into what can I do to help, and I went into life coaching. And I love love. I really believe we all deserve to have a good love in our life, and I found it. And so now I try and I help other women to intentionally date to find love.
That's awesome.
So
That's
yeah.
how long have you and your husband been married now?
So we got married twice. Um,
That's ought to be
we
good.
it was great. We got married because we got married the first time at the last one of the last COVID outbreaks. So we made that a very small wedding in Montana. That's where my family's at. And then a year later, we got married on our anniversary in Turkey, and that's where his
Sweet.
family from. Yes, he's originally from Turkey, and he came and
Cool.
immigrated almost 20 years ago now. Yeah, so
Aw,
that was fun. So we've
that's
been married.
awesome.
Oh, I love that I got two weddings. How many with the
Yeah.
same guy? I shouldn't. I gotta be careful with that. And in two locations, but we have been married for 2.5 years from the first wedding.
Cool. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That is awesome.
He is my love, my support, my joy. I never I knew it could happen, but I just didn't think it would happen for me. I feel like a lot of us go through those thought
You-
processes, and to know that I could have somebody who's so supportive of my authentic self.
Yeah,
I can have my quirks come out, and he just laughs. Sometimes he shakes his head, but he loves me nevertheless.
as it should be, as it should be.
Oh, yeah, and I just got to be oh, so what I was going to talk about, I was going to loop in with
Yeah, go
Tinder.
ahead.
I found out because I like to look at the updated dating stuff with my coaching, of course, and Tinder is going to be one of them. I didn't know this until more recently, but they're part of the Match group, And Match has partnered with a nonprofit that specializes in cybersecurity
Like you're
and
talking Match.com?
Match.com.
That's where I got my first scammer.
Oh, yeah. See, I mean, but they are doing so. Match, Tinder, and Hinge are going to be part of a new background check.
That's awesome. We need that.
Right? Like I love already, I don't know, like if like looking for verification, like that was even when I would look for that for sure to be, are you verified? Doesn't take much to verify. You get your face in front of that darn camera and
Yeah,
you become a real human. But yeah, but they're now even moving because I think it was like, I think I saw, I don't think they have the stats for last year, but in 22, it was like $3.6 million were taken from people from scammers for that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's uh
It's
it's a racket. It's horrible.
it it's taken advantage of people kind hearts, and I always never cared for that in general, but
Yeah.
it's everywhere on that, unfortunately. And I
Yeah.
love that these apps are doing a little bit more to protect people because they deserve to be protected
Most
from that.
definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. That's awesome. It's what you need because I mean, I may right now most of my scammers are Instagram. That's a big one. But I
Uh,
mean, I went through the Match and Art Time and then Plenty of Fish is the big one. Plenty of Fakes is what I call it. I mean, but
seriously though.
to what I do, it's, I have two accounts on Instagram. I have my Suzanne Sugarbaker account and then I have my real account. But my Suzanne Sugarbaker account is very busy. I can't keep up with, you know, all of them. And it's crazy. But, I get asked a lot of times, and I'll ask you this, is there any dating site you recommend? I don't recommend any. I just say be careful on there, do your homework. My first piece of advice is if you're really actually looking to date somebody, make sure they live in your city and they're not stationed somewhere like they like to say.
Yeah, that military scam's a big one, unfortunately. And for like, well, unfortunately for some of those military boys that are looking for love at home too, right? But
Yeah,
yes, absolutely watch. And I feel like, of course, the minute somebody asks for any vital information or, you know, the money. But for actual dating apps, I really do think it's preference driven. But I do feel like if you want to follow something for like safety wise, like look for those apps that do verifications because that's just a layer of protection.
yeah, yeah. And we need that.
I just liked Hinge because I liked the layout, but there's like so many out there, and there's just we're all different people, and we all can gravitate to different apps. But I would, as I said, I would like definitely like lean towards verification, and now potential background checks.
That is what we need. It really is. I think it's awesome that they do that. So as a dating coach, what exactly do you do and how do you help people?
So I work with women because I really feel the understanding of other women, and
Yes.
we work on intentional dating. And I love that because I feel like a lot of times in this world, like we just kind of bumble about dating. Like, oh yeah, he seems kind of cool, and we'll just go through it. And then it's like 6 months you're down the road, you find out it doesn't potentially jive with what you wanted, or you hold yourself back with these expectations. Like we just don't like, or we have our friends' advice or everybody else's advice of what we should do. So I really like to like sit these women down and like let's go through all these things that are important and like values, goals, even just stuff like that. Because once you have, because I might like you think about it, like I could tell you, like I'm a like outgoing human. I love to go hiking. Like these things are enjoyable, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's like the true value of me. Like my values of like I love to be optimistic about things. That's just a value of me. And that's important. I want to be able to be optimistic. Some people I feel like can bring that down. But once you get to do that, like I think it's just like you continue with that, right? Because when you can get that, you can set we work on boundaries, recognizing red flags. And this is all a build on the intentional dating to be able to find somebody who matches you better. And that is so important to let's just stop wasting our time with the do.
all the time, or want to FaceTime you, or just no, I get it. You don't want to waste your time. You're seriously about finding somebody. You want to find somebody and see what happens. So it's like I was telling you earlier, the wedding I went to on Saturday. This was a girl I knew when she was born. It's a friend's daughter. She's an adult, and they met on Bumble during COVID. She was on another one. Hinge might have been the other one, and he lived in St. Louis, and she lived, of course, lived here, and they got married on Saturday. They dated for over 2 years, and it was the beginning of COVID, and so they talked on the phone a lot before they finally met. And I mean, I would love to get them on here to tell their story. I don't
Oh my
know if they would
gosh.
do it, but in the beginning when I started this, I did have people come on who did have good experiences. One of my friends actually met her husband on Plenty of Fish.
She found the non-fake.
Yes, yes, yes. So, even though we all make fun and talk down about online dating, I also like to show it can work if you do your homework, you know.
Absolutely. And there's like I think like there's positives to it too because you can filter through things that are important to you that you can't necessarily do that as easily in person. I
Yeah.
feel like the dating worlds have gotten better about it, but like things like religion and politics, stuff that you don't really ever want to talk about for like what 3 months or something, and then it's a Ooh, we are definitely not on the same page. And like you can kind of like look through that. A lot of because like think that's what the kinge, like it'll put your religious affiliation if that's important to you or etc. Like I have this type of political bill. Like I think that was that time when, Trump was very popular and
Mhm.
that was definitely put up on the dating apps. And you
Yeah.
can be like, okay, you are for me or you're not for me.
Right. 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 Oh my gosh. So do you have a website or
I do. I have it's Infinitely oh my gosh, infinitelylovecoach.com. I had a moment there.
I'm writing this down. I love it. I got to go visit it just to look at it. So, no, I think what you do is great because everybody needs help on trying to if they're serious about wanting to find their soulmate and the person to share the rest of their life with. You know, and how long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for about actually a year.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I
I
love
love
it.
this. Do you have anything else you want to add or plug or anything that you want everybody to know about you?
Well, I love love. Got that one right.
I like that.
And I do love to say date smart and with your heart, but I
I
do
love
have to
that.
say, like, listen to your guts. Like, that's so important when it comes to this because I do feel like we ignore that a lot. And I actually consider that a red flag when I talk to my clients. Like, if you just, even if it is just something that doesn't feel right, no matter what it is, trust that as your own red flag and leave
Yes.
the conversation, the date, whatever it may be.
Yeah, no, I talk about that on my TikTok lives. I'm like, look, trust your gut feeling because it's almost always right. Go with that. So,
How many of us can go into our past and be like, well, yeah, there's some red flags, but
yeah, yeah. Been there, done that.
me too, more than once.
Well, I always like to say, okay, I learned from that. And even though I'm like, just, how could I be so stupid? I have to remember I might not be here and as sort of together as I am if that I didn't have that relationship and etc. But I try to think that, once I can get the out of my body about it.
Right? Purge that, get it out.
Yes, yes, yeah. Well, when I was at the wedding on Saturday, it was got married in our church, and I was just sitting there thinking about when I married him, and I'm just like, God, you were such an idiot. And then I'm sitting there, all right, God, can you get this out of my body? I'm tired of thinking about it.
Be gone, be
Yes,
gone.
devil be gone.
Absolutely, I got that
Melissa,
too.
it was so nice to have you on here, and I love what you're doing, and I would love to maybe have you back in a couple months if you have anything new to share with us.
I'm always paying attention, so I'd absolutely love to do that. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed listening to Melissa. I think she's fabulous and what she's trying to do. Be sure to check out her website, and it's M Finley, Finley, lovecoach.com. She's also on TikTok, M Finley Love Coach. So check out her website, check out her TikTok, follow her on TikTok. I just thought the stuff she shared and the fact that she met her husband on Tinder. I love it. We always talk about online dating. I get asked about it all the time, which apps are the best. And I don't recommend any apps. And the reason is you got to, I can only tell you, you got to be careful out there. Do your homework. As I always talk about in my lives, is if the dude doesn't live in your city, don't waste your time. But anyway, be sure to check out Melissa's stuff. Follow me on TikTok, Pink Lady Against Scammers. I do lives on Wednesdays and Saturday evenings, Central Standard Time. So check me out. We have a good time. My alter ego, Suzanne Sugarbaker, tends to show up. Also, Suzanne Sugarbaker has her own TikTok account now. So please follow her. It's Suzanne R4. And she's got over 800 followers. And soon she'll be able to do her own lives and not come on my channel. So anyway, thanks for hopping in today and listening to this. And as I always say, they don't love you. They love your money. Welcome to the Pink Lady Against Scammers podcast.